Welcome to Peter King's Training Camp Tour, presented by Die Hard Batteries and Advance Auto Parts. Peter King from NBC Sports here in Eagan, Minnesota, home of the Minnesota Vikings, at Vikings Training Camp. You know, 3 thoughts about watching the Vikings for a day, and especially with a new coach, Kevin O'Connell. I think one of the things that I noticed about camp, and again, look, this is a Polaroid snapshot of one day at a training camp, but this is a teaching camp. There, I did not hear one raised voice in 2 hours of practice, certainly not from head coach Kevin O'Connell, because he believes definitely in teaching. So the one thing you're going to see here is when mistakes have to be corrected, they're corrected at a low volume. That's one thing. Second thing is, I think on this offense with Kirk Cousins, so everybody looks at Cousins and says, oh my God, you know, he just hasn't won the big one. And of course he hasn't. Been here 4 years. He's won 1 playoff game. You know, never gotten the Vikings to the Super Bowl, obviously. And I think what you're going to see with this offense this year is one very key thing, and that is I think Kevin O'Connell is going to get Kirk Cousins to be able to take more chances downfield. And when I say that, what I mean is that Cousins has been plus 88 touchdown to interception ratio in his 4 years. And I think one of the things that I sense, not said to me, that O'Connell is going to tell him is a lot of what he learned with the Rams. Remember last year when Matthew Stafford was leading the NFL in interceptions for a good part of the year? I think sometimes interceptions are simply a cost of doing business. And I think you're going to see Kirk Cousins take a few more chances this year. Now, finally, on defense, it's interesting talking to people with the Vikings. You know what they say? Patrick Peterson looks really, really good. And so they're going to need Peterson to be the sort of shutdown corner, especially against the kind of tough schedule that the Vikings have. So watch for Patrick Peterson to continue to play great into his 30s. Now let's give you one fantasy tip. The name I heard 6 or 7 times in a day here, KJ Osborne, the wide receiver who everybody thinks is sort of the number 3 behind Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. I think the one really interesting thing about KJ Osborne is that he will benefit because Kevin O'Connell told me that all 3 receivers are being taught all 3 positions in the offense. So I think you're going to see KJ Osborne move all over the map to basically make him a guy who defenses are going to have trouble figuring out. Good late-round pick, wide receiver KJ Osborne. With the Vikings in Eagan, Minnesota, I'm Peter King.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.